I have one question for all the doctors in the room, especially for the Nigerians. Does the fact that the majority of the participants were very young people, does it have any effect in terms of how you heard Akin, in terms of how the government and the society accepts and really make this NSAR to be almost close to how we're getting answers and people working towards provision of needs in Black Lives Matter? What is the essence of why, you know, it's not, there's no help? Even the Nigerian society, I don't feel like it's doing as much as they should do. Just like these youngsters, the youths practically, you know, rallied around and took the matter into their hand. How do we get it to be more effective so that right now the youths are not even being respected? And just like Akin said, most of them were already out of job, don't have a job, don't have school. How do we get the support that they really need, whether it's coming from the society to speak up more and also the government to support and provide what is needed?
Thank you so very much. Well, I would like to break it down a little bit. I want us to understand, for the benefit of those members, those part of us today who don't even know the meaning of end SARS. I'm grateful for the explanation made already. SARS is Special Anti-Robbery Squad. That's the meaning of SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And in Nigeria, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad was established in the year 2000 or so,
92,
to stop robbery, because a lot of Nigerians who were supposed to get jobs are not being provided. They don't have jobs, and they believe that a lot of youth were joining highway robbers, armed robberies, and then they established a Special Anti-Robbery Squad, which when it started curbed a lot of highway robbery, but the police took laws into their hands and they were just apprehending a lot of youth for no reason. Somebody will get out of work, they will handpick them, and some of them will just disappear. So that's how in 2017, some young people in Nigeria, you know, they staged a rally against it. The first rally against the NSAS, against Special Anti-Robbery Squad in Nigeria, first of all took place in 2017. And then it started building up until the event that happened last December in I think November, in the toll gate of Lekki happened. So I want to believe very strongly that God created some of these events. God orchestrated some of these events because it has come we have come to a time in Nigeria where except something happen that stop the corruption, that will stop the corrupt leaders and let them know that people are tired, people are hungry, people are suffering, and that the institution put in place by government is not helping people anymore because the police were taking laws in their hand. I remember in 2003, I had to wade in to a particular case in which a young man, is a graduate, was apprehended by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, and he almost lost his life. thank God for some of the, thank God for what we were able to do that time to rescue not just that man, but some other people that were apprehended by police at that time. Now, what I see as how this comes to play with the ongoing Black Lives Matters and the special anti-robbery squad in Nigeria, where I see the parallel is that our government, the government of Nigeria, would not do anything as long as the institution formulated by them is the one at fault. They will not do anything. Just like the government of America, as long as the institution formulated by them is the one used as the vehicle of oppression, of oppressing the people, the government of America is not doing anything. So the people have got to rise up and speak. The black life. Sorry. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did I go off before?
No, it's okay. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. So now, what we need, what the whole world need, what America need, what Nigeria needs is to let the people know that every life, of course, we say Black Lives Matters, every life matters. Every life. Nobody deserves to die the way we see in Lekki Gate in November 2020. Nobody deserves to die that way. The way George Floyd died, nobody deserves to die that way. Everybody wants to go back to their family when we go out. So now, but let me sum it this way and then yield to somebody else to speak. Now, what I am doing personally right now in the state of Texas is I want to make sure that our youths are reoriented. Nobody is a slave. The mentality of slavery is a make-believe. And I am trying to help our youth to reprogram their mind that they are not who people make them to believe they are. Our youth needs to first of all come to terms with that. And I think that's where the mental health issue comes in. Until we let our youth know that there is nothing wrong with them, they are normal human beings, they are free, they have access to life, they have rights to live, and they need to speak to themselves and change their orientation to life. That is the only way, in a way, they can also stop the unnecessary killing that is going on in the society. So that when my son, when your son, my daughter, your daughter, when they go out there to the places of humanity, the way they carry themselves will also help preserve life more, so that they don't deserve to die anyhow. So I believe that all of us have got work to do with our young ones, so that they have a different orientation, so that when it comes to law enforcement, they have their right, I know, but some of the ways by which they position themselves to, I'm not talking of people who will just, surround some black people and just shoot them dead. But some, especially when it comes to police, their reaction to police, we need to reorient our youth. The way they react to police, you already know that they don't want you to leave. So, but you want to leave. You want to go back to your family. We need to get our youth to behave in a way. We need, this is about parents educating our young ones to
Yes, thank you
behave
so much.
in a way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me go to Dr. O.T. Patience to kind of, in terms of the following what Dr. Olatunji just spoke to us about the education. And really what I'm hearing is re-education of not just the youths. And I would take it further to say our society in general, are all over Africans, wherever they live or reside in the world. But what do you think, Dr. Oti, including the psychological effects of being part of our youth in Nigeria, being part of such historical event? How can we, including the education, how else can we really, as a general society, respond to the demonstration, which is something that is missing right now in Nigeria, given that I'm thinking maybe they're fearing the government and think, what is the best way to actually bring more help and participation and awareness and help that people that Akin is currently housing can get?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
I think I want to use Dr. Latunji's backdrop. He actually put it in good perspective. I look at SARS and Black Lives Matter as the same, two sides of the same coin. While these people are working against or fighting for racial inequality, Nigerians are fighting against police brutality. And if you look at the two, the picture looks alike. And your question is, what do we do not to waste the effort of these youths? What they've actually done. And it's something we should seriously think about. There's no way, if we don't do something immediately, we'll lose momentum. At least this is the first time we're seeing young people come out and do something.
Yes.
I'm a pastor. 1 Timothy 4:12 says, let no one despise your youth. They should not just shut up because they are young people.
Yes.
And what I need to throw in is one, is education. Education. Wherever we find ourselves, if we could help our young people to know who they are, if we help them not to believe what any other person is telling them, if we can help them to stand tall, to know that God can use them to change a nation, to bring Nigeria out. And those who are privileged to not just education, if there's any way you could begin to have some captive audience to speak to them so that they don't lose momentum, that will be a plus.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me go to Dr. Akere, Tade Akere. Following what she just said, what is the extra stuff that we could do? What would be the effects of unmet expectations of the demonstration, whether it's in NSAR or Black Lives Movement? You heard what we've been sharing here. I kind of feel like if there's an unmet expectation mentally and psychologically in terms of how our mental wellness rests to us, what would be the effects of all that to our mental wellness?
As far as mental wellness goes with these two, so we're talking about two communities that are very parallel in their experiences. In the US, we have we have structures in place that provide mental health, services. One thing also I want to point out with that is that a lot of the mental health services have also been jeopardized and, canceled. We talked about this earlier, you and I talked about this before, have been canceled. So a lot of people don't have access to the services they used to have access to. So if we can bring this back where people can have access, because what has happened when I talked about the awakening is that a lot of people and the youth, they're also realizing that, wow, I'm not safe. I'm a prey. Anybody can just wake up and shoot me. So this has had effects on the people who have experienced it. For those of us who have watched it, people have had these experiences, having fear, anxiety, anger, depression, sense of helplessness, sense of hopelessness. All of this has come to play and it needs to be dealt with in therapy. People need to be, people need therapy. People need to go in and talk to, a therapist, a psychologist, psychiatrist. Some people need medication. So when we look at some of these things, it's very important that we put these structures back in place, because a lot of people are missing the structures. Dr. Felicity mentioned using our platform, and that's one of the things that I do. I use my platform. Any young, African that comes into my office, I use that opportunity to talk to them, mentor them, build up their self-esteem, because when you realize a lot of these kids, all they just need to know is that you're loved, you're worth it, you're important. Just hearing that from, even somebody like me who is a Black woman, that they can look and say, hey, I can actually be like this person, and that's one of the things that gives all of us here joy, that you have that opportunity to reach some of this youth who can look at you and say, hey, I can actually be like, Dr. Oti, I can be like, Dr. Felicity, I can be like Dr. Tade. And then on the Nigerian front, we also have situations where mental health is still stigmatized. Okay, still stigmatized. We're moving forward, because I do have, I collaborate with some of the providers back in Nigeria, and I have, some setups there that we kind of try to help, people, but it's very slow. It's very slow. The government focuses a lot on mental health issues like drugs, and nobody's talking about depression and anxiety, and those things are stigmatized. People who have gone through the NSAS, even before the NSAS movement came on, they were actually feeling, repressed, helpless. They were feeling oppressed. And this is like what Mr. Olaoye said was what prompted, just watching America and seeing how the youth rose up. They also decided to rise up, even in the midst of all the oppression. But then now they're here doing all of this, and they have done it. They've done a wonderful, awesome job. But then the tragedy of October 20th came on, and how do we move on from there? We need to find a way of reaching these young ones, like they said, to mentor them, to let them know that, hey, you cannot stop there. We need to encourage them, and they need to move forward with that. That movement needs to move forward. So we need to be able to encourage them to say that, hey, you're not alone in this. We stand with you. We're helping you financially, economically, every way that we can help them. We need to be there. It's not just by word of mouth. It's not just, saying a prayer. We need to be there physically, really just urging these young people, people on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tade. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, that's part of the education. Ongoing education is definitely needed at any platform we can possibly utilize. Let me go now to Mr. Fred Wankwa, who joined us now, an entrepreneur and an aspiring publisher here in Chicago. Fred, what do you think of the commenting on what, following back on what Dr. Tade just said? Could you give us some comment? What is the effect of an unmet, effects of these things not being met in terms of the two issues that are parallel here?
The effect is very simple. We don't need to decorate it. If we can't seize the opportunity that we have right now, with all that's gone on the last 4 years, with the most bigoted president that America ever had, we have a window of opportunity, not simply because Biden was elected, but because of the amount of Black support he got to be elected. We have very strong leverage right now. My fear is that we're addressing a dual problem going on in Nigeria and the United States. But unfortunately, I don't think that the two parties really understand themselves well enough to be able to help each other to solve their common problems. I'm part of the problem. I've been in the United States for the last 42 years. And I wouldn't say I'm part of the problem. I'm married to an African American. And I've been married for 39 years to an African American. So I kind of relate well with African Americans. The problem that I have on a general basis is that we live two separate lives, not my wife and I, but Africans in America and African Americans who live here. Us Africans who live here ignorantly have not taken advantage of the leverage we have with our cousins who have been here years before us. To a good extent, they haven't related well to us, but I put the onus on us, not on them. Because as we come over here, we don't act like we're one of them. We act like we're from there. And we understand these things better. And you guys are not taking advantage of the opportunities you have the way we have taken advantage of it. What we forget to remember is that these people have been oppressed for 500 plus years, brainwashed, knocked down. And if we in Africa are knocked down the way Americans have been knocked down, Africa will not own, or blacks in Africa would not own one piece of Africa, because they would have destroyed us by now. But African Americans have been peed on, they've been lynched, they've been jailed, they've been shot. Somehow they wake up and keep going. I say this to say that we need to all go back to our houses and pick up our telephones and call our fellow Africans and say, hey, until we build a strong alliance with African Americans, we in Africa are not going anywhere, because what they can do for us at the White House and Capitol Hill is never going to be done, because they don't understand our problems. And until we sit down with them and fight their fights, like if it's our fight, not an African American fight, we are not going to achieve what we're trying to achieve together. If the day comes when African Americans and Africans who come here to live have a strong structure that builds things that hold us together, no white man in America can stop the black people in this country, because no white man in America can take what the blacks have taken. They get away with what they get away with because they use us against each other. We have to stop being used, and it's very simple.
Blacks or Africans in whatever part of the world that you are in, we can get along, and it's high time that we start looking at our issues together as one blood from the same place. You know, it's not because we are, most of us have been, you know, brought over here, but just really that we are all Africans. We're the same. And I'm really applaud you for what you just said, because that takes it really off my mouth, because that's what my March show is about. Yes, we can get along. How do we move forward? Given the NSAR and the Black Lives Matter movements, I believe that this has actually been a wake-up call for all of us, no matter where we are as Blacks or Africans in any part of the world. I want to go ahead and move on to right now. Thank you so much, Fred, for that. And ask the last question second to the last question to Felicity and also again Allison, and both of you. I pick on you, and I'm glad that Minister Cortex Max also has just joined us as well. But piggying back to what he said, what is the way that we can actually get the Black Lives Movement, like you said, the local level of it? What can be done? What can all of us do? You know, also piggying back to what Dr. Tade said, you know, what is the way forward for you guys?
Well, I had risen my hand because I was just going crazy over what Fred
Fred
Nwanko had
Nwankwo,
said.
yes.
Yeah, my goodness. Listen, I only found this out last year that Ethiopians are in the top 5 of income earners of immigrants to this country. So, first of all, every African American needs to know that fact. Second of all, a conference that says, tell me why you can't achieve because your skin color with what I just told you. Why are Ethiopians among the top 5 income earners of immigrants? It's because of what's up here. It is because no outward victimization can supersede your own victimization in your mind. Meaning, if you are not a victim when you come here, no matter what somebody says to you, they will not stop you. If you know your power and your greatness, what anyone else does to you cannot stop you. And that is the message that our youth need to know. It's the pride that we can know where we truly come from and what we're made of. And just that fact right there, you know what I mean, is very empowering. And my issue is, I believe that what Black Lives Matter indoctrinates from the top down, you know, on a grassroots level, it can be different. But I mean, they actually have training. I have seen the papers and things that they train. They train on victimization. There's not a single one of us with our doctorate that got it because of victimization. A victimization mindset gets you nowhere. So this cannot be a part of our training of our youth, to be solely focused upon what white man has done to us is not going to be helpful. We have to get beyond that. When you and I'm a life coach, when you what you focus upon grows. If you focus upon the problem, everywhere you look now is a problem. And if you focus upon empowerment, and if you look at, wow, look at my people, look at these people with my same skin color succeeding, then you focus upon what you can do, right? I mean, Black Lives Matter has put out several times, it's been 34 days, it's been 50 days, Joe Biden won't take our calls. They were used. They were used. I mean, and the way that Joe Biden spoke to the Black leaders he put together was shameful. I don't know if you guys heard that phone call. But here's the point. Forget that. Forget that. There is a personal empowerment that it doesn't matter what other people do to you. And we can begin to make that change from the ground up. I mean, I was just so excited to hear Fred speaking, because to hear that there's a desire to want to share what you all have with us. And we want to learn. And there are going to be people, you know, we know from mental health that there are people that they get power from being victims. They get to whine, they get attention. There are people that aren't going to want to leave their victimhood, okay? But there are people like me that came from low-income neighborhoods that wanted out. And I didn't care if other people hated me for that. I wanted something better for my children. Actually, the neighborhood wasn't the way it is now when my parents moved there. They wanted something better for me. But it didn't, you know, work out like exactly like that. But I got an education. So anyway, there are people that want out. There are people that want to know what you all have to teach. And that's who we've got to focus on. That's what we've got to focus on, because not only it's not just about getting out of those neighborhoods, but about being able to change the neighborhoods as well.
Yes.
So anyway, just
thank you so much. I do appreciate. Yeah, thank you. I figure you'll get back on that one. Dr. Allison, do you have any comment on the same topic?
Well, I think Dr. Felicity, she hit it on.
Good.
She really did. She hit it on every aspect. But just to kind of piggyback on what she's saying was the fact of, I also think, things also start at home. So, and what I mean by that is that everyone in the community can come together and can stress about the importance of education and stress about the importance of mental health and things of that nature. But now those are outside forces. We also need inside forces that are also, embedding things in the kids' heads. That's just as well as when they go to school. The teachers and the professors cannot be the only ones that are trying to educate them. It cannot stop there, but we can't go in the homes and ensure that the parents are doing their job.
Right. That's true. Thank you so much.